Hello, hello, and welcome to Death Stranding, Road to Death Stranding 2. Just yesterday I did what I'm thinking is gonna be my last gameplay video of Death Stranding 1. And oh god, the game was so good. Death Stranding, easily for me, is one of the best games I've ever played. Right up there with Hypnospace Outlaw and, Outer Wilds is like a game that had an impact on me. Right now we just have playing in the background my original playthrough of Death Stranding and just, letting that run while I talk. This video is going to be the first in a series of videos I'm putting out to bridge the gap between my completion of Death Stranding 1's playthrough and the release of Death Stranding 2. We are likely going to be getting these little bonus videos running right up until the 28th. Because I know the game comes out on the 26th, and I plan on getting it right when it comes out. But I want to give myself just a couple days buffer room between, because we're probably going to stream it the day it comes out, if not the day after. We're going to stream it right around the time it comes out. And I want to give myself that tiny bit of buffer room to, get the videos uploaded and edited. But this is going to be the first in the series of 28 videos bridging the gap, and this one is going to be me going over my wish list for the sequel. What do I want out of Death Stranding, or wish list and predictions. What do I think the story beats will be? What do I want to see changed and added? What do I want to see kept the same? This is just a hopes and predictions for Death Stranding 2. This is very unscripted, like most of my stuff, and I'm just the old chat messages from the original playthrough appear in there. But, yeah. This is unscripted, this is just sort of me going through my thoughts, So I'm gonna start with my predictions and then lead into my wish list. Now, I have avoided all trailers, teasers, everything relating to Death Stranding 2 I can. I've gotten a few brief glances at things, and I've heard Kojima say that he's trying to avoid the walking sim accusations. That's about the extent of what I know about Death Stranding 2. So, what are some of my hopes? Or what are some of my predictions, I mean? Let's start with predictions, yeah. Big prediction number one in my head is we're gonna see more Higgs. They went out of their way to establish that he's not gonna die. Higgs, as well as all of our 6 friends, are going to be reappearing. But what I don't think is gonna reappear are any of the side characters we met up until now outside of the main 6 friend group. I think we're gonna be in entirely new regions of the US. We're not gonna retouch any of the first game's maps. A big part of my belief in that is that a lot of the characters who appeared in Death Stranding 1 as random survivors and bunker dwellers were actually guest stars. Famous musicians, famous film directors, etc., that Kojima was able to convince to guest star in his game. And I don't think I don't think he's gonna be able to get all of those people back again, and I don't think we're gonna be in the same map region. I'm predicting we're going to get access to all of the technology the last game gave us, and some new technology as time goes on. I predict we're going to see all of the previous iterations of BTs plus some new ones. Some of these things are pretty given predictions. I hope we find out who Lou's biological mother is, who their still mother is. And in fact, I've leaned into the theory that I've seen pop up in the community. I've started looking at community stuff now that I beat the game. I subscribe to the theory that Lou is Lou. That Lou's still mother is Sam's wife who offed herself. And that this is all a really fucking fucked up, convoluted thing that Bridget put in place to make sure that Sam got their original kid back. Because she's the reason that Sam's love killed herself. So she would have been there in the moment that she more or less decided she wanted to off herself and been aware. Maybe she was able to take the child. And it would explain why the child repatriates all the time. I expect I expect but don't want to see a romantic narrative between Fragile and Sam. I feel like there was enough hinting in the first game of Fragile having a romantic interest in Sam. It could be purely platonic, which is what I really hope it is. I hope they don't set up Sam to be romantically connected with Fragile, but I think they will. And as for what the main story is going to be about, God, I have no fucking clue what direction the plot could take, and that's what I'm most excited about. Because, again, I've avoided all trailers and any information. My biggest theory is I feel like the chiral network will have, like, caused a collision course with the beach. And I think that's going to be the bulk of the problem of the narrative in this game, is that the veil between our world and the beach is growing thinner, and we're going to have to choose to cut the chiral network and once again disconnect everybody, but have to find maybe an alternative while we do it. But that's just sort of a blind guess on what the plot's going to be. And now for some of my big hopes. My hopes are going to kind of overlap with my predictions in a way. I really, really hope they fix a lot of the bugs. I really fucking hope they fix the bugs that the game had. Like, I don't want the rock magnetism. I don't want those random moments where Sam slams himself in the ground or jolts forward. I don't want the moments where he does the little skip hop. Because that's my biggest problem. The one thing stopping Death Stranding from being a 10 out of 10 game for me, and instead being like a 9 out of 10, is just how buggy it got sometimes. And it drives me insane. Like, I really, really hope they fix that. I hope we see a little bit of an increase in biome diversity and maybe a little bit of an acknowledgement of the real-life environments that the games, like, of the US, because, like, this game in no way looked like or felt like the United States of America, you know? It felt like Iceland. Beautiful, beautiful game, but, like, it just didn't feel like what I would expect from, you know, America. Oops, man. I feel like the ambient music. I picked just a generic Death Stranding ambient music soundtrack, and hang on. Give me a second. I'm gonna skip this segment of the playlist. There we go. That's much better ambience. Anyway. I've also got a glimpse of the fact that Lou is going to be toddler age. I hope that... I'm guessing and hoping that Lou is going to have, like, an advanced stage of dooms, allowing Lou to still be your tool through which you see the BTs. All in all, I'm just, like, so excited for Death Stranding 2. I'm hoping that we unlock the ability to customize our outfit sooner rather than it being an endgame thing. I really want to see an increase in vehicle variety in the next game. I would love to see an increase in the types of packages we deliver and the variety. God, I am so bad at the game. Looking at my old gameplay. I hope we see a big increase in the types of cargo we get and, like, the unique ways we might have to carry and use them. And I hope we get a few more enemy encampments we have to interact with. I think a higher density of enemy encampments could be very fun. I saw some people... So I've been watching a lot of reviews and analyses of Death Stranding since beating it, because, you know, autism has been activated by this game. I hope we get a lot more character interactions. Which, yeah, I know, like, if you break it down, there's 11 hours of cutscenes in Death Stranding. But ultimately, it feels like we only just started to scratch the surface of getting to know our 6 main friends. I really hope we can help Hartman reconnect with his family. I feel like that's gotta be a major point of the plot of this game, is Hartman reconnecting with his family. I really hope Lakana and Mama become a really big important part going into the next game, and that we get to see more of their weird psychic bond. Like, the first game really does feel like it was just setting up what's gonna happen with all of these side characters like Hartman and Lakana for a payoff in this game. I hope we get more Dead Man, sweet baby boy Dead Man. I want, yeah, this cutscene just showed me thing. I want more I hope we get more wildlife variety. Because, like, there was birds and deer in the opening of this game, but then you never see them. And I would have loved it if there was, like, a moment where you could, like, carefully approach a deer and hold your hand out and pet it or something, you know? It would have done a lot more to help you just feel at one with the world as you go through the game to see living animals in it. I also hope we get to see more people in general. That Sam gets to more directly connect, because he deserves that, you know? I'm so curious where the next game's plot will take us. Like I said, this is very stream of conscious that I didn't script out how I was gonna do this in advance. Like, my thoughts are that we're gonna open up. My prediction is that at the start of the game, Sam is gonna be off living in, like, his own prepper shelter, off in the corner of America. You know, he's gotten away from it and he just wants to rest. He wants to raise Lou and take care of his daughter. And what I'm thinking is Higgs is gonna somehow return and pull Sam back into like. I think it's gonna be that, like, Fragile is gonna come to find Sam and be like, I've been, you know, Sam will be like, oh, what are you doing here? I'm retired. And she's just like, I've been able to find you this whole time because of our connection. You know, no, but I just knew you wanted to be alone, but now we need you because Higgs is back. You know, so Fragile's gonna pull you back into things, and you're gonna meet with Die Hard Man and Dead Man, and they're gonna be like, Higgs is trying to bring down the chiral network from the other side. I think that's what it's probably gonna be, is because he's on the other side of the beach, not in our world. He's trying to bring down the chiral network from that side or some shit. And now we have to travel around, like, re-strengthening key points of the chiral network in a new region, maybe. Or maybe we have to expand the chiral network in order to track down where Higgs is operating from on the other side. That's sort of my thought of how the plot's gonna kick off, but, like, it is almost impossible to predict where a Hideo Kojima game could start and where it could go. I'm just so excited for this game. But yeah, I guess that's, like, more vehicles, more character interactions, more enemy bases. Those are my big wants and hopes going into the game. And I can't think of anything else I would want to, like, super want to see. So with all that out of the way, I guess, you know, I know this is a little bit of a shorter video, but a lot of these videos of the road to Death Stranding 2 are probably going to be shorter, and I just want this to be an initial, like, hey, here's what we're going to be doing, and me getting out my initial thoughts of what I hope to see. The next few videos I'm going to start releasing are story and character analysis videos. They're going to have a similar stream of consciousness vibe, where I'm just going to, like, you know, I might do a light bit of research on a character and then just record a video talking about my thoughts and hopes and predictions of that character. But it's sort of where we're going. You know, this is just a broad overview of my thoughts. Oh, I really hope we get to deal with the I just thought of another wish, or hope. I hope we deal with the fucking repercussions of the fact that their chiral network is literally built on BBs. Like, God, that's so fucked up. That's so fucked up. But yeah. I think that's going to be it for this video. I know it's on the shorter end, and all of these are going to be on the shorter end. Either way, you know, love all very, very much, and ta-ta for now. Support me on Ko-fi.